E for eMiningWizard.com and MarketWizard.com, reminding traders to use risk capital you can afford to lose. You're playing this game. We're into IB. About 20 to 25 minutes. Market is range trading right now. We've suggested to traders, if you're trying for the half gap, which is 40.75, make sure you're paid coming into 39s to 40s. We've been pretty choppy. We thought anybody that was trying to buy the 34 to 32 zone might get something, but we're going to run into a couple of ideas. First, if we're looking at pivot point idea, that's part of today's dynamic right now that I'm looking at anyways. 15-minute chart, 10-minute chart, even better, we said. So we've got some tails here as a basis from this chart. So this chart is pushing up from the rain line. And if we are looking at the 5-minute RTH, we're running into some moving averages coming this way. And as long as we are under the blue line, that's our slope line, then that will help the shorts. But we're still above the rain line considerably, so we're stretched a bit, but certainly not negative as long as we're above this. So I'm not looking for a plunge. And the burden is on the shorts to keep pressing down, and the burden's on the longs to try to get up above this line. So the common sense trade that we're calling for is try to hold this 32 to 34 and push up to close at 42 to 44 gap. And I think that we're going to probably run into a little bit of resistance, but I don't think we're talking killer short. So I'm suggesting you think very small if you're playing. Don't think about any one swing as being a huge swing. And then we're going to go back over to obviously this chart, which is our Globex chart, and say normally the bottom of the pipe is going to be support. You got to take this out and keep it coming if you want short side. So the longs have defended yesterday's 28 zone already, trying to defend this 34s to 32s. And if we come out the top today and close the gap 44s, then anything is available back up here where we had this fast run down. So typical trade for us is to look for the half gap to gap trade. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Stops up. And anybody who shorts ahead of the gap, that's an aggressive type trade. Bots will do that. Still don't really know what the agenda is by the boys. I think before the day's over, though, that we still have some trap traders from yesterday, and as long as the shorts can defend this 42 to 44 zone, we still have some trap traders from up there. So very, very neutral type of open. Very challenging for anybody who's looking for a big trade right now. And I say if you've had a good week, you're thinking small, just trying to add a couple of bucks to the coffers. And this is a 1-minute chart, and this is the RTH chart. And right now, we've got to sink into support, and then we've started a little whack-a-mole pattern of higher highs and higher lows. One tick remaining for the half gap. and stops up if you are trying. A reminder, we've got 41.75 is today's open, and the 44 is actually our gap from RTH yesterday. Usually the trades you don't like are the ones that work. You know, you're feeling, oh my God, they're coming after me. But I've found that despite the emotions of it, if you take the trades that you really feel uncomfortable with, you probably will get better results. Especially as old timers like me used to say, let it come to you. Much better odds, you know, buying test of support. Just like this morning at that 28, 29 area. There it is. Zeke, that was a great call you made about reminding us about the 27.75 Angel. Much appreciated, bud. 10-minute chart definitely helping us from Globex. We said we're going to consider the gap at 44. So that's the measure we use to get this 41 area. 40.75. Nice trade. Anybody that's had the, remember, we're in the pipe from yesterday. Anybody that's had this first trades should definitely be paid by this 41. And about 3 points remaining to the gap. So risk and reward, that means obviously 38s and 41s and 44. All right, equal odds. 3 points to the gap, 3 points back from 41 gets you 38. Risk reward, one of the primary ingredients in trading. Most people don't consider it. Running into the demon up here, 41s to 42s. And what we just talked about in terms of risk and reward idea. And there's some high frequency traders that, you know, going in a gazillion times, you know, scalping for one tick. Told you guys, I know a trader who basically trades high frequency with options, gazillion a day. Talking to his dad the other day, the kid's on target. This is like his second year doing this. He's on target to make $500,000 this year. Just scalping out 30, 40 contracts at a time, just trying to catch the spread. Non-directional trader, doing some arbitrage. He's about 26, 27 years old, and he's really starting to get a feel for, you know, how you do that sometime. And he's got a limit on how many trades he can take in a month and so on. I think he pays about $1,500 to $1,800 a month for his support. You know, his leader who is furnishing him with algorithms and computers and the system. One day he made 66,000 in a day. That's not the norm, of course. But he's easily taken in a couple thousand a day, just flipping options. And they'll make 400 or $500 here and do another tranche, and they time it and they see the tranches coming. So there's all different ways to play the game is what I'm really referring to. And you got to find one that makes sense for you. Anybody that's played long side got what we wanted, which is the half gap trade, much higher odds for half gap than there is for the gap. Going to keep an eye on this 5-minute chart. I said we've got to get the market up above that to get better odds for the longs. So keep an eye on this chart, because the green and the red and the blue, and I'm thinking of this more neutrally than I am power shot short side, because realistically this is flattening out. But we're going to keep an eye on this as the day progresses. And I really like the 10-minute Globex, because this has shown me that the boys are willing to use this chart to push. You can see it right here. And this 10-minute chart probably has a little more power than that 5 RTH. And that's why this is a game of confusion a lot, because you're estimating and guessing and saying, is this the chart in play? So yes, it is. This chart is trying to push, and it's going against that 5 RTH. But clearly we can see the tails down here, where so far the half gap and gap traders have had a good run from that 34 to 32 support we suggested. I'm still not looking for a killer push, and you got to be mindful of news today as well.